This area here, is this where you're storing most of your work? Do you have a separate storage area as well?
No, it's all here. So this is a storage room, and these are B-sides. Yeah. And I have a lot of exhibitions on at the moment, 2 large exhibitions. So I've got 80 paintings at the Lowry in Manchester, and another sort of 30 paintings ready to go to the Royal Academy. So a lot of my pictures are out, as it were, on the move. And some of these are old paintings which I might rework, and some of them are for my legacy, which Forsters, of course, conveniently has actually helped me to consolidate.
Seeing this area here, you know, for other artists, that's one of the most, I suppose, daunting tasks, is to catalogue what you have and then to try and grade your own work, deciding what is the core work that you would want to continue to represent the best of what you do in perpetuity, one hopes, for those artists who make it that far. And then supporting works, archive material. It's a big endeavour, and I don't know, we've started that, haven't we? But to what extent do you feel it's been an easy journey?
It's something that happens to painters at a certain time. If you are a young artist, say you're 30 or something like that, you're setting out your stall and deciding what kind of artist you are deciding to be, because the contemporary art business, for want of a better word, is a sea of possibilities and options. You're this kind of artist or you're that kind of artist. And a young artist is actually deciding where they're going to point their ship, as it were. And then there's this terrible expression, mid-career, an artist of 50 years old, say, has gone, some way, and they're consolidating, and they're understanding the ramifications of the decisions they've made 20 years before. But when you're 70, you're neither position. You're in the business of turning around and looking at the footprints in the snow and deciding and not deciding at all. You have to accept what kind of artist you actually are. The decision making is over. This is what you turned out to have become, and it's too late to change. It's not too late to experiment and go in new directions. What I mean is you can't deny what you've previously done over the last 40 or 50 years because it's there. It's evidence. And that is what you have to accept. So you have to accept, even if you hate it, you have to say, well, I seem to have done this. I'm sorry.
It's funny you should say that. There are artists that I represent, and I know at least a couple of them have bought back works that they were unhappy with in order to destroy them, or indeed just to paint over, change them. And so that is definitely a feature for some. Once it's gone out into the wider world, you can't control it, and some find that hard.
I think it is hard, and I bought back my own paintings, not necessarily for that reason, but I bought them back to protect my prices at auction.
Jim, that's the other reason. You're quite right.
Because if something's got a low estimate, I'd rather have the painting than the droit de suite, frankly. And I shouldn't probably admit that, but I think all artists of a certain age do this because you're actually consolidating and trying to shape what you've done, not deciding what you're going to do, but you're consolidating what you've done. And of course, if you don't like something, you can destroy it and shape what you want to leave as you're in the world after you pass. So it is something which is really important, and it's something that it's up to the artist to do, unless you have curators you can really trust, because most artists who get to my age have got works in public collections, and those will be there in perpetuity. And so they define what kind of artist you are. So you have to join in with that perception of yourself, which is the official story of what you've done. Even if the context has been, sometimes you find your work in the wrong context, you can't do anything about that.
No, a sort of manipulation of your your external
or
image,
appropriation
really.
of you,
Yes.
or someone misconstruing.
Yeah.
But time will pass, and then work will be seen in a purer light.
But that point about buying back your own work is something that I've come up not against, but it's something I look at. Sometimes we have to review artists' contracts, and a number of them do include pretty much a free-for-all for the galleries or outfits that are representing the artist to be able to buy pieces that they select with no control for the artist. So it's very important that they protect themselves contractually as well.
If they can afford it, they probably would. But if an artist's work becomes very expensive, it must be impossible.
I think that's right. So it's about getting it correct when you're young and developing and passing through.
You don't want to be the kind of artist who's walking on tiptoes trying to do the right thing all the time, though.
No.
Because the only way you can really find the best possibility, or find what your vision is, or what feels right, is to make mistakes and to do the wrong thing and do things that are not you. And then you think, oh God, I wish I hadn't done that, so I'm going to do this now.
Yeah.
And that's okay. But you certainly don't want to be saying, oh gosh, this is the kind of thing I do and I'm going to do.